We had the NFL draft. We did a little preview as we listened to last week. We re-listened to that, but our predictions, I think, I speak for each of us. We had some predictions that were wrong. For me, I didn't think Amari Cooper was going to go to the Raiders, and he did, and I'm glad he did. And yours was.
Yeah.
It was
kind of,
ballsy, I
I
guess.
mean, I had a bold prediction. I thought Phillip
it.
Rivers was gonna go up number 2, get traded for Mariota. But hey, didn't happen. You can't win them all.
Can't win them all. So let's start there. Really, to me, no surprises in the first round.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Everyone knew Winston was going first round.
I feel like this happens every year.
Yeah.
There's like hype coming up to the draft, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, someone's gonna get traded. This person's gonna happen," and it never happens.
Yeah.
Ever. There's never like the deal busting like huge deal that everyone wants.
Yeah, I thought there was a decent chance someone at least traded for the Titans pick, whether it was the Chargers, Eagles,
I heard
or
the Eagles
someone.
were going hard.
Were they?
That's like what the rumors were.
I mean, the Titans were.
And then they traded down.
The
That's what,
Eagles,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So like, I think once the Eagles realized they weren't going to be able to draft Mariota, they really just kind of switched their plans. And realistically, that's what you have to do to build a team around the options they have with Sam Bradford. Whew.
Yeah.
It's amazing the turnover in that division in 1 year. I've never seen anything like it. DeMarco Murray, Nelson Aguilar, Sam Bradford are the main weapons on the Eagles this year as opposed to last year. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is actually amazing.
That's crazy. And actually, all right, so yeah, you mentioned.
I do like that pick of Nelson, by the way, too.
Yeah, so that he was at 20, and so he's a wide receiver out of USC. He went 20 to the Eagles, and I saw somewhere, I'm trying to pull it up now, his like stats and like wingspans, they're like identical to Jeremy Maclin.
Did they lose him in free agency?
Yeah, he's on the Chiefs now.
Yeah, him and Sanchez had a real hookup for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I
they
mean,
have a great
I was kind of
connection.
surprised they didn't. Yeah, I was surprised they didn't re-sign him, but
Right?
it's just funny. I mean, I'm trying to look up.
He's probably asking for a little too much coming off a big year.
Yeah, most likely.
Relatively for like what was he, a 3rd round draft pick, I think?
Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
look
pretty
it up
sure.
in a sec. But all right, so you have. I'm trying to look up this comparison with like their wingspan and stuff. But
In the meantime, ask you a question here.
Macklin was first round, 19th
Okay.
in 09. Continue.
Okay. Wrong. Okay.
Whatever.
It happens. My question is to you. Like, who do you think are the big winners and the biggest losers from this draft?
Oh man.
Right.
Loaded question.
It is a loaded question, and it's always hard to answer too.
I mean,
'Cause,
yeah. I mean, right off the bat, looking at the first round, it's just judging from the first round because there were a lot of big names in the first round. I thought the Bucks did well. I think Jameis Winston, and I was an advocate of Mariota over Winston, but I really think Winston and Mike Evans are going to do some dirty things in Tampa. So I think they filled the void there. Same with the Titans. I did like the Raiders pick with Amari. I really wanted that, and I think you touched on that last week. That's something where that'll allow Derek Carr to grow. They could have gotten a guy like Leonard Williams, who ultimately goes to the Jets, and that's a crazy
that defensive
defense
line
now.
is frightening.
Him,
Gives me nightmares.
Wilkerson, it's yeah. I mean, Tom Brady really is going to have a tough time this year against.
I can't sleep. I've been able to sleep since the draft.
Leonard Williams.
How did
like
he fall?
Muhammad
How did
Wilkin-
he fall? Like, I don't understand. How did Washington not pick him at 5?
I don't know.
He was Tom
They picked a
McShay's
guard.
second best player.
Washington's
in
a
that
terrible draft,
and he falls to
that's why.
6. That's true.
So,
that is true.
so the Redskins will forever lose. Yeah, I thought the Jets won. I thought also the Lions snagging. They got Amir Abdullah, right? So, I mean,
you know who I really liked? Was
Yeah, what do you got?
the Ravens, actually. I thought they murked it in this draft. They got exactly what they needed from what they lost in free agency. They ended up getting Brashard Perriman, one of the top available receivers in the draft. They also ended up trading up for tight end Max Williams, and I thought that was also a really good pick, getting Joe Flacco some weapons that he actually really needed if you looked at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And who else? I think the Jaguars actually did pretty good. I think Dante Fowler is going to end up being one of the better players in this draft, and I also think T.J. Yeldon is going to end up being a very effective pro. So I think the Jaguars, when you look at it, got away with some really good picks in this one, which is interesting because they're the Jaguars, and I don't remember the last time they've ever been good.
Yeah.
You
look at like the Derek Garrard era,
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich, Maurice Jones-Drew, Fred Taylor,
My goodness.
and they would never make it out of the first round of the playoffs, but they were a playoff team back in early 2000s.
Yeah,
but
those old Madden games are fun when you could mess around with the Jaguars.
yeah. I'm trying to think of their receivers. They had some good receivers subtly, like kind of no names, but I can't remember them. But I thought they did well too. The Jags. You look at the Ravens too. Everyone here in the Delaware area keeping an eye on the tight end Nick Boyle. Surprise, surprise. The Ravens pick another blue hen, and Nick Boyle went 5th round, 171st overall. And I mean that was kind of a need that they had too. They have Owen Daniels now, who's kind of banged up, I guess. But I think Nick Boyle will really, maybe not make a name for himself in the NFL, but that's a good piece to have. So, I mean, snagging him in the 5th round is really just icing on the cake for a good Ravens draft.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, the draft thing is, analysis right after it almost seems kind of pointless to the extent of the fact that we have no idea how these players are actually going to turn out until they hit the field. Odell was drafted 15th overall last year.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Woof. Oh, man.
All those teams kicking themselves in the head after missing out on him.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. Question to you again, though. How many QBs are taken in this draft overall? Like 5? I think I saw that it was the lowest number of quarterbacks taken since 1955 in the NFL draft.
Jeez.
Why?
I mean, if you look at it after Mariota, it just
was
fell
Bryce
off.
Petty the next pick?
I'm
For the
trying to
next
look.
quarterback taken?
I'm trying to think.
And sorry, Jets fans, if you look at 3rd round quarterback success rate, it is very, very poor.
Bryce Petty
Excluding
was
Russell
the
Wilson.
4th round too.
And he was the 4th round.
Oh no, yeah. Wow. So it went Winston Mariota 1-2 to start the draft. Also, probably the first time neither one of the first 2 picks were at the draft, which I thought was crazy. Like, when was the last time you saw that?
Why wouldn't you go?
I mean, Mariota's from Hawaii, so he was with like his whole family, so it's explainable.
They
And
both
then
copped
Winston
out.
was like, all right, I'm going to do that too, but I live in
It was the
Alabama.
other way around, actually. Winston was first, Mariota was second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I was just saying Mariota.
But still, yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why you'd want to miss out on that in Shot City.
Yeah. Right?
NFL drafts, it's a great experience, you know? You get to shake the commissioner's hand, the guy that will soon be fining you for doing something.
I love that.
Illicit.
It's like, yeah. It really
Not
is.
that all
though.
NFL players do that, but, you know, it happens sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Pop the Strong production.
All right, so 7 total quarterbacks taken. It took
7.
It was 1-2 Winston, Mariota, respectively. Then it took until the 4th round. Oh no, it was the 3rd round. I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. So 3rd round, the next quarterback was Garrett Grayson out of Colorado State, followed by Sean Mannion of Oregon State, then Bryce Petty, then Brett Hundley, and then a kid out of Northwestern, Trevor Siemian. But do you see maybe a Tom Brady and Brett Hundley? Because I really don't think there's any hidden gems in this quarterback
That's
draft.
what I'm saying. I don't even think Mariota's going to be good. I've never been on that bandwagon. I just don't think he has a skill set to transition effectively in today's NFL. But that's just, I just can't.
I think
don't
he
know.
had it more than Winston, but I'm kind of alone on that argument. I really want him to go first because he really doesn't have much to work with in Tennessee now. But Also, I mean, this was the first time that a running back went in the first 2 rounds in the last like 10 years or something like that. And you have two
Two
going
of
in the
them,
first round in
yeah.
Gurley and Melvin Gordon. I thought that was a good pick for the Chargers actually in Melvin Gordon. Were you surprised that that Gurley went first given his injuries?
Um, yeah, actually, because I'm more pro Melvin. He's Jamal Charles, like 2.0, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. He's the remix, baby. Like, that's what I want. And I think Jamal Charles is really good, and I think it would definitely be effective player on the next level. I think Todd Gurley is more of like kind of like that Adrian Peterson frame, kind of immediately NFL ready. But I think Melvin Gordon's a really good pickup for San Diego at what, 15 or 17 they got him at?
Yeah, 15.
15.
Yeah, I thought that was a good pick too. I mean, it's not that he fell, but I mean, you got Gurley going top 10. He was 10th to the Rams. Um, Another interesting scenario. I mean, we talked about the
Okay, so the Cleveland Browns, I think it was, I gotta get this right, because I gotta get my facts right, but I believe it was in the second or third round they drafted a player out of Hobart. Division 3. What do you think his film looked like? Do you think he looked like the Incredible Hulk?
Maybe
just
black
ripping
and
people?
white.
Like, yeah. When is the last time a Division 3 player got drafted in the second round of the NFL draft? Division 3. They played Curry College.
Wow, I didn't even know Curry had a football team.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I don't think anyone on the radio knows what Curry College is right now that we're referring to. It's in Massachusetts.
Shout out
if
TA.
anyone knows.
Shout out TA.
Taylor, TE, yeah, Taylor, yeah, right.
Alright. Yeah. That's crazy. I don't think the Browns had a great draft either. I think they're pretty screwed
Who did
coming
they pick
forward.
in the first round?
It was Danny Shelton, the nose tackle, 12th overall.
It's kind of a stretch, I feel like, for him too.
Yeah, I mean
Why wouldn't they go for one of those edge rushers?
they need a running back. That's what I'm saying.
And why would
They could have gotten Melvin Gordon at
Why would
12.
they draft a lineman out of Hobart when their offensive line really wasn't that bad before their center went down last year? I mean,
Yeah,
that's what happened. Like when
they were a good team last year.
beginning of the season. What was their record? Like they were 7-4 at one point, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean they were tied for first place in the the AFC South or North for it was like a
the majority
three-way
of the
tie at
season,
like
yeah.
7-4, yeah, something like that. So I don't know.